country, or I have to pay some sort of local tax to travel outside. Um, and they're gonna kind of reel you in saying, yeah, we're gonna meet very soon, but just pay for this for so that I will be allowed to travel to you. Another sort of let's call it payment request that you will get from a romance scammer is gonna be a variant of the person in need scam. So they will tell you, oh, I was robbed, I had an accident and I'm in the hospital. Someone stole my luggage. I lost my luggage. My house burned down. My father is ill. My brother is ill. I need to pay a bribe so that my father will not be drafted to the military. All sorts of things like that. Whenever there's a sudden need for money and the person is going to pressure you to send it, that's a red flag. So what could be a good test to distinguish the romance scammer from the actual romantic interest? Uh, Maybe suggest to them that, well, no, you don't come to me, I will come to you. And suggest that you will travel to them and meet them face to face. A very small percentage of romance scammers will actually be willing to meet face to face and are so bold that they will try to continue the scam even after a physical encounter. The vast majority of those scammers are not gonna take the risk. They're not gonna be willing to actually meet face to face. It would be too much of a hassle for them. They're not interested in that. And once you very strongly suggest that you are going to go and meet them, they will either come up with crazy excuses why this shouldn't happen and why this should be the other way around, or they will just disappear and you will be rid of them. Again, it's a very devious scam. It sounds super obvious, and in retrospect, you might find yourself, well, I should have seen that happen, seen that coming, but it's much harder when you're inside the emotional bubble. So always be on your guard when you're interacting with a romantic interest online and there's any sort of money request. Uh, I already mentioned this person in need. It can actually be its own, and it often is its own scam. You will be contacted by someone who's gonna tell you that you need to send money for some emergency purpose because your friend, family member, maybe your boss or coworker or someone like that is in trouble. They got arrested, robbed. They had a car accident. They're in hospital. They lost their passport. They are stuck at an airport for some reason, and you need to send the money now, quickly, because there's gonna be hell to pay if the money is not quickly delivered. Uh, and those people often target older individuals, and they might even know the actual real names of your friends, family, coworkers, etc. Please always be on your guard when you get such a request. The best test would be just to try to contact the actual person who's supposed to be in need, or or their parent or their friend, etc. Someone else. Don't call the number that called you. Don't call them back. Call a different number that you know is related to the person that's supposedly in trouble, and find out if this is really the case, because most often it's not going to be the case. Stay vigilant. Maybe I'm gonna stress just one more variant of the person need scam, the so-called coyote scam. Uh, as the name suggests, this is gonna be related to a claim that, again, a family member, friend, coworker, whatever, was trying to cross the US border and got in trouble, and now they need to pay a bribe, they need to pay a fine, they need to all those sorts of things related to the border crossing. It's a really common scam. It's much more common than you think. If you see something like that, or maybe you see a friend who's telling you that, hey, I I was contacted that someone, a loved one, is stuck on the border. Let them know because this is most likely a scam. Okay, now another classic one. This one dates to the early 90s. It's the so-called software scam, malware scam, virus scam. You're gonna be contacted by someone who will claim to be a representative of Macintosh, Microsoft, some sort of computer systems engineer, and they're gonna ask you to pay for the service, pay the software fee. It doesn't even have to be your own personal computer. They can contact you at work, and they're gonna pretend that this is something that's already authorized by your supervisor, but they will again say that you have to pay now, 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 now. That's highly unusual. Those sorts of companies would not really normally contact you like that. Whenever you have something, this sort of contact coming your way, assume it's a scam, don't send the money. A variant of this is going to be someone who's going to say that your PC was infected by some sort of malware, and they're going to ask, it's going to be sound like a blackmail. They're going to say, well, if you pay us, then the malware will not destroy your hard drive, you will not lose your data, etc., etc. Again, 99.999% of the time, it's a scam. Just ignore those guys. So, that would be pretty much it for this orange tape. Scammers are coming up with new and more sophisticated methods to get your money. As I mentioned, things like the proof of purchase or the mystery shopper scams are good examples of that. Again, please always take care when you're sending any sort of money online, or you're sending money using things like Western Union or sending a money order. These days, scammers are often not your mom and pop enterprise. They could be whole, very organized groups with multiple people working on you from the same angle all the time. They can fish your data from your social media accounts or from other websites where you might have provided it. They might be really familiar with what you're doing, how you look, where you live, and they might present a really sensible scenario why you need to send them the money. So stay on your guard, stay safe. Remember, if it looks too good to be true, it's probably not true. And if someone is telling you that something has to be said now, 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 very, very quickly, or the hell, the hell will happen, the sky will fall on your head, etc. Again, red flag. So, please take care, stay safe, protect yourself from scams, protect your loved ones from scams, stay informed, and be mindful that not every scammer is a Nigerian prince. It might be much more complex and sophisticated. Take care. If you like this recording, please feel free to subscribe, like, leave a comment. If you want to ask some questions, please go ahead. Please be mindful that I am not a professional legal expert. This recording was done mostly to inform you about what sort of scams might happen, and not so much to inform you what to do after you've already sent the money and now you're a victim, because that would really vary depending on the country you're at, the jurisdiction you're at, what sort of police you have in your area. In general, always contact the police and see what can happen, what other steps are possible given the legislation. that's that regulates money transfers or money orders or other forms of payment in your own country. However, the sad part of it is that once the money is sent, it's usually very, very hard to get it back. And like I said, those fraudsters they are very organized. They can disappear and into thin air, and they will use fake documentation, fake IDs. They produce their own IDs. The best way to protect your money is simply not to send it out in the first place. Thank you, and have a good day.